Check one. Check two. Check two. Check three. Check, check. Check four.
Oh, there she is. The house band's gonna do the preview.
Yes.
Okay, and you're doing announcements, so you're just like.
Yes, I'm just going to
That's
live
like-
up here for a while.
That's perfect. right here. In that paragraph right there.
Oh, okay. I'm delighted to
So right here.
offering a reflect. Where is the landing?
Right here.
Take a moment to ground ourselves in this one. Okay. It's Sunday, yeah. Okay, are you going to leave this
I'm leaving
here?
that right here. So yeah,
Okay.
so they're not going to do a chime. They're just going to come up and do the prelude. So we don't have to introduce the prelude or the board announcements. They'll just do it. So right after the board announcements, you can come up and do the opening words.
Okay. Where are we? Sung.
Sorry.
So the welcome. Sung.
Yeah, so we won't do the chime because they're just going to come up and do it.
Somewhere there's. Okay. Sung prelude. They're doing the board announcements. Right after Marielle.
Right after Marielle come up, and you can read it from there because the land acknowledgement's included in there.
Oh, okay. Where?
So right here.
It's starting. Okay.
Starting right here.
I'm Susan. Shall begin with opening words. Okay. How far am I going?
I'll put it So that'll
Okay.
be the hymn, and then you come back up to do the centering words.
Yeah. Okay. So
So everything in the red square.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I come back.
Exactly.
But I'll still be there.
They're going to do the hymn, so you'll come down
Oh.
down when they do the hymn,
Okay.
and then you can follow your script.
Yes.
Perfect.
After the hymn.
Exactly.
Whatever the hymn.
Is that okay? Is that clearly marked for you?
Yes, that's okay. Board announcement there. Welcome, everyone. Where are we? Centering words. Did you see it? Okay. Yeah, okay, so I stop. I don't do the.
You introduce the hymn, leave, and then come back, and you can follow from your.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You get to introduce me.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us on such a glorious day when you could be out tending your own garden, but I'm glad that we're all here to hear Lee speak about his experiences from the garden. But before that, we have a few things to get through, and the first is our opening song. Those of you who were here last week will recognize the song because it's the same one we started with then. It's called This Joy. You are encouraged. We're the house band, so anybody can join the house band. So if you like what you see today, please come up and see myself or Mariella or Lisa back there or any of us to find out more. We're completely welcoming. You may think you can't carry a tune in a bucket. You're probably wrong, and we can find a place for you.
And if you're in the house band, you get to wear one of these cool bandanas.
There you
so
go.
That's like really cool.
So with our first song, we're gonna, when we're ready, I'm still gonna talk for a little bit. We'll ask you to stand up as you're able. We ask you to clap along, stomp along, and definitely sing along. It's a very, very simple song, so you should all be able to do so if you wish. This is not a test. You don't have to sing, but you are strongly encouraged to sing if the Spirit moves you. So with that, please stand as you are able and willing, and join us in singing This Joy. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Next will be strength. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. And now love. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. And now pride. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. And now peace. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. And now back to joy. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. And give yourselves a round of applause. Nicely done.
Good morning. I'm Mariella Keblasek from the Board of Directors, and I have a few announcements for this morning. First, a couple of items under the heading of Thinking Ahead. Although the crisp air of fall is a long way off, many of you may be cleaning out closets and basements this summer, so please keep in mind setting aside items for the 2025 Fall Fair, which will be on Saturday, November 15th. We've recently updated the list of donated items that we can and cannot accept. You'll find a link to that on this week's EUU. And the Fall Fair needs you. The Fall Fair is not only our biggest fundraiser, but also the most fun and engaging event of the year. If you're new to the congregation, we'd love to have you volunteer especially. It's a great way to meet new people and build connections with our wonderful community. And I'll add that when I joined FirstU 6 years ago, being a part of Fall Fair was a key way for me to really feel part of this community and have the time to meet people and sit and talk to them over lunch. It's really very cool. Saturday, November 15th. You're welcome. So if you're interested in volunteering, please contact Eva Behringer, our Fall Fair volunteer coordinator, and you'll see contact information for her in the EUU. Now in August, coming up very soon, right around the corner, we have a number of Pride activities which are listed in the EUU. I'd like to highlight that August 17th will be our Pride service, which will be followed by a t-shirt decorating and sign making party. And August 24th will be the Pride Parade, where we'll get to wear those beautiful t-shirts and carry those signs. Also note, for the first time, FirstU will have a table all weekend long at the Pride Festival on August 23rd and 24th. That's on Bank Street. And we're really excited about that because we feel like it's a great place to do outreach, tell people about us. We're going to have face painting and all kinds of fun activities to bring people in to learn more about us. So please plan to stop in and say hi to us. And finally, be sure to check out the new FirstU Little Free Libraries outside the parking lot door by the elevator. There's one for adults and one for kids. Please donate in small quantities. We don't want your entire bookcase at once. And thanks to Ajaski for painting them so beautifully. Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Susan, your worship associate this morning. We acknowledge that our FirstU campus is located on traditional, unsurrendered, and unceded Algonquin Anishinaabe territory, and that the work of reconciliation is a responsibility of our congregation and of all Canadians. Our goal is to educate ourselves and all who have the willingness to understand, to be of service to those who are at risk, and to advocate for justice. Let's join our voices in song. Please rise in body or in spirit to sing together.
Morning has broken.
Thank you.
Number 38 in your gray hymnal.
Good. I was going to stick that in earlier, but I didn't. Okay, off we go.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the wood. Sweet stirrings new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness, praise for wet garden, sprung in completeness, where God's feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, beating softly. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day.
Sure, where at? Right there, okay. Okay. If you are new to FirstU and would like to, oh boy, this is going to be bad. Yeah, and would like to learn more about us, please contact us through our email at welcome@firstunitarianottawa.ca. And if you are here in Worship Hall with us this morning and would like more information about FirstU, you can find it at the welcome table at the back of the pews, where that's Carol, I think.
That is correct.
That is, okay. We encourage you to sign up to receive the EUU, our weekly email newsletter. Sign up information is available on our website under the EUU Weekly Newsletter tab. You can also access the EUU on the website or by using the QR code on the back of your printed order of service. Check our Facebook and Instagram pages and our website for notices and updates. Our calendar is as full as ever with a mix of online and in-person opportunities to be together. This morning, each of us is welcome. We of any heritage or faith, whatever our burdens, of any culture or race, of any gender or orientation, in any body, all that we are. Today, we are all a part of this spiritual community.
Thank you, Susan. I'm Lee, and I'm pleased to be with you all on this beautiful Sunday morning. The rain has let up. The sun is coming out almost on cue. So we're ready for a beautiful day and a visit in the garden. As we start our time together for our chalice lighting, I'm going to light our chalice to words by Mary Oliver. And I've fallen hard for Mary Oliver of late. I think her poetry is just, it slaps, as my daughter might say. These words, "When I am among the trees," originally published in 2006 and later included in Devotions, Mary Oliver's parting gift to the world. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, equally the beech, the oak and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me, and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, in which I never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me, the trees stir in their leaves and call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches and they call again. It's simple, they say, and you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light and shine. Our chalice is lit. Let us worship together. Come, let us worship together as we sing our chalice song.
Chalice, chalice, burning bright, help remind us with your light of how we'd like to live each day with love and truth that will lead the way.
Susan, if I can ask your help for the stones. Each week we pause in our time together in recognition of the joys and sorrows in our lives and across the globe. We honor our celebrations and challenges by placing a stone in a bowl of water. As the ripples extend outward, imagine them continuing out beyond these small bowls, out through and past our pews into the larger community of all. First, a stone of sorrow and solidarity for all those around the world who are living through conflict, famine, and displacement through no fault of their own. A stone of sorrow to honor the passing of 2S LGBTQ advocate and poet Andrea Gibson. A stone of joy for bee balm, monarda or wild bergamot, for its scarlet flowers, fragrant foliage, and the pollinators it welcomes. And a stone of joy for the vine that creeps up the side of my house, keeping my kitchen cool in the height of the summer afternoon, and for the way the golden hour sun dapples between its leaves. With that, we invite you now to come forward to honor your own joys and sorrows by placing stones in water. The last stone, as always, represents all that remains in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. Today we have a caring card for Nona Mackenzie, who has recently moved into comfort care. If you would like to take a moment after the service, if you haven't already, the caring card's available at the back of the pews. Pardon me. Even if you don't yet know Nona, signing the card is a way for us to extend care to those who are part of our community of faith. Let us move now into a time of stillness and reflection. After several moments, we'll come back together through the gift of music. So I've missed the first two of our summer series because I was off on holiday, but for the summer, we've introduced a little bit of fun, and so we have a box in which we invite the speaker or the person sharing a reflection to share and bring an object that is sacred to them. And so my sacred object is my partner's pruning shears. And I think it's pretty self-evident as to why this is on theme today. But yeah, these are among one of the most sacred things that I have in the garden, in the toolbox. So more to come on the pruning shears. Our reading this morning is an excerpt from a transcript of an episode of the On Being podcast, in which the host Krista Tippett is in conversation with author and environmentalist activist Robin Wall Kimmerer, the author of Braiding Sweetgrass, who shares why at the age of 18 she wanted to study botany. The reason that I wanted to study botany was because I wanted to know why asters and goldenrod looked so beautiful together. These are these amazing displays of these bright chrome yellow and deep purple of New England aster, and they look stunning together. And the two plants so often intermingle rather than living apart from one another. And I wanted to know why that was. I thought that surely, in the order and harmony of the universe, there would be an explanation for why they looked so beautiful together. And I was told that that was not science. that if I was interested in beauty, I should go to art school, which was really demoralizing as a freshman. But I came to understand that that question wasn't going to be answered by science, that science as a way of knowing explicitly sets aside our emotions, our aesthetic reasons to things, or reactions to things. We have to analyze them as if they were just pure material and not matter and spirit together. And yes, as it turns out, there's a very good biophysical explanation for why those two plants grow together. So it's a matter of aesthetics, and it's a matter of ecology. Those complementary colors of purple and gold together, being opposites on the color wheel, they're so vivid, they actually attract far more pollinators than if those two grew apart from one another. So each of those plants benefits by combining its beauty with the beauty of the other. And that's a question that science can address, certainly, as well as artists. And I just think that why is the world so beautiful is a question we ought all to be embracing.
Hello, me again. In the program, it says this is the anthem, and I suppose it is, but unlike other weeks where the choirs are up here singing the anthem and you're encouraged to just take it all in, we certainly want you to take it in, but we also want you to sing along. Probably not the verses unless you've heard the song before, but certainly the chorus is easy and repetitive, and it's just kind of life-affirming. So feel free to sing along as you would like. Together, some hands have fought in wars forever. Tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? Some hands have blessed 1,000,000 people. Some hands have helped the world from evil. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? The world could use a human of the hero kind. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? Some hands can stop a life from dying. Some hands comfort a baby crying. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? The world can use a hero of the humankind. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine?
I want to
Sing it from my heart. Wanna hear it in the wind till it blows around the world and comes back again. So all that we can ask is for hours to be free, to use them when we want, for whatever the need. Some hands give voice to a nation. Some hands wrote the times, they are a-changin'. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? The world can use a hero of the humankind. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? The world can use a hero of the humankind. So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine?
Thanks very much, house band. I know if anyone wants to pull some weeds at my garden, there's definitely something you can do with your hands. So I'll send the address a little bit later. But good morning and happy Sunday again, everyone. So I'm doing things a little differently today. I've had the pleasure and honor of sharing a few reflections here as part of this community. And usually they're stitched, I'm an English major, so argument, thesis, 3 bullet points, conclusion, scripted, rehearsed, practiced, and I'm just coming off of a few weeks of vacation. I've just come back from New York City, had my 45th birthday on Monday. As a gay man, I've never been to New York City. I felt like I righted a wrong finally after spending a bit of time in New York, and went to Stonewall Inn, which I think was pretty profound. And I love that it's just a dive bar. Like, it's just a tiny dive bar. I played drag bingo, and I won a little stuffy, and I stayed out till 5 o'clock in the morning that night. And so, yeah, I've been living and sort of in the moment over the last few weeks, which is a real gift. And so I didn't write anything today. I have some notes, and I have 3 things that I think I'd like to share, some stories from the garden. So I'm speaking from the heart with a couple of notes. So if I stray, I know my timing, but please give me the grace to just share a couple of things in the spirit of that joy as we go. And we will come back to New York at the end, I promise. So lessons from the garden. Today, I'm hosting a garden party. It's a thing that my partner and I hosted around my birthday. It was always like, when you get to be in your late 30s, early 40s, having a birthday party is a little bit silly, I think. But, to have an occasion that, might be around your birthday and people might want to come and have cake and flowers and things like that. So we started hosting a garden party. And later this afternoon, I think, at least 50 or 60 folks, neighbors, members from the congregation, my family, and a lot of my closest friends will be joining me in the garden for an annual tradition, which I really love. And it's more powerful for me too, since my partner passed away in 2023. So this is now the second time I'm hosting the party without him. But he's still there. I have his pruning shears, all the plants he brought back from other places. And so I'll share a few things in honoring the importance of that ritual. I shared previously a reflection on Sunday as a verb. And one of my favorite places to Sunday is in my garden. And so this feels like a little bit of a part 2 of that reflection on Sunday. So the first lesson that I'd like to talk about. And I think, Julia, you've got some pictures of the garden that'll be coming up on screen. So my partner, Charles-Éric Charlot, worked in landscaping. And so for me, gardening was a joy, and for him, it was work and labor. And so we had a very different relationship to the garden. I'd wake up on a Saturday morning and would like get my hands dirty, want to go up, and he's like, I've been like hauling hostas and putting down mulch all week. The last thing that he wanted to do on a Saturday morning was get down into the garden. But Charlot had this beautiful gift of always, seeing the best in things and the potential in things. And he'd often come home from clients working with plants that were destined for the compost bin. A hosta that maybe was past its prime, or and astilbe. He had a client who just wanted to get rid of an entire bed. Like, he brought home 30 astilbe plants one day, and he's like, "These are going in the bin." I'm like, "Those are $40 each at the garden center. Like, what are you talking about?" And so our garden was a place of abundance, and sometimes I would get frustrated. I'm like, "Oh my God, babe, we don't need any more plants. What are you talking about?" But he'd always tell me, he's like, "Babe, just put it in the ground, and we'll see what comes up." And so one of these, there's some hydrangeas here, and hydrangeas are pretty important to me, and these are from our meditation garden here. But one Saturday, or one week, Charlot came home from work on a Friday, apologies, and went back to work on the Monday, and realized that he had left 6 hydrangea plants on his rig at the shop under a black tarp during a heat wave. Oh, rest in peace, hydrangeas, right? So they were meant to be installed at a client's house on the Monday. Obviously, those wilted hydrangea could not be put into a garden that was nearly finished. So quickly went to the garden center, picked up 6 hydrangea. At the end of the day, he came home with the truck, and he told me the story, like, we forgot these on the rig. And instead of throwing them in the compost, we put them in our plant ICU, so this little garden bed in the back. We just put it in the ground and see what comes up, whatever. And so planted them in there along with other things, and kind of forgot about them over the winter months. And then that April, Charlot passed away at home. And that was a pretty traumatic experience for me, for our family, and in that moment. And so, weeks later, I'm sort of finding myself in the garden, seeing the snow melt, and stumble across our plant ICU and see buds on all 6 of those hydrangea, which are now beautifully placed in our garden. They have found home in a place. So every time I see a hydrangea, I think of the opportunity. And the lesson for me is that sometimes all we need is time. Time to think, time to rest, time to heal, or time to just be. And when the time is right, you'll bloom. That was the toughest lesson, so thanks for bearing with me. Another lesson I'd like to share is I'm pretty fortunate in terms of where my house sits in the corner, that it's like a big pizza wedge that goes out. So I have a fairly large yard because they couldn't put another house in before the other street. So my neighbor and I are fairly fortunate that we have these larger yards than most of our neighbors around us. And there comes a moment in, I'd say May, depending on the season, where all the trees and the hedges come in, and it's like a wall of green. And all of a sudden, my yard, I cannot see a neighbor's house. And I live just in Elmer, across the river, in a suburban neighborhood. And so I can hear kids playing, I can hear things splashing, but the intimacy that comes, and there's a moment, and I think about it when the crabapple blooms, and it's like peak bloom day, when just before they're about to burst, and then the next day they start to fall. And so I think about that day and it's different every year. You never know when it's gonna be, but you know it when you see it. And so I'm like, today is peak bloom day. Today is the day where everything has come together, and the yard is beautifully framed, and another season in the garden is upon us. And so around that, I also know that there are plants that are on my side of the fence, and there are plants and trees that are on the neighbor's sides of the fence. And that fence is an arbitrary line. It's a chain link fence. It's overgrown with ivy, which I love because a chain link fence is really ugly. And replacing it is too expensive. So the inexpensive, beautiful way to sort of mitigate that is to have an ivy sort of growing across it. And so there are large trees that create canopy on both sides of our fences. And I count those trees as part of my garden, even though on the property line, they're on the other side, or one of my neighbors doesn't care as much about trimming the hedges or whatever, but it's a part of the ecosystem of my garden. And one of these is a large maple tree that created a beautifully shaded spot in the back garden, which I affectionately call Michaela's, my daughter's, gossip corner. We've had a little picnic table back there, and that's where her and the neighborhood friends kind of congregate and catch up. And last year, we had a pretty significant storm, and we lost about a third of the canopy from that maple tree. And so, branches into the garden, and the tree is on the neighbor's side, but all of it fell onto my side. So all of the damage is on my side of the fence. So all the plants that were there, the branches, and that. And so cleaning up took a significant amount of time. I was devastated when I saw that because, these trees are, as Mary Oliver, like they're singing and they're bringing in the light and they're all these things. And so I had this moment of sadness for the loss of a pretty significant portion of this tree. As we cleaned things up, then I thought, now the conditions in my garden have changed. This full shade spot is now full sun. And so the plants that I had put there before, hostas, brunera, and a few other shade-loving plants, were burning up all of a sudden. And so now, two of the I didn't have anywhere to put those hydrangeas. There's a lot of hydrangeas. So I had parked two of them under the tree. And so now, fast forward to this year, the light conditions in my garden have changed in that particular spot. I still have some hostas to move, to relocate to a more suitable spot for them. But those hydrangea are now loving where they are. And so I think the lesson there is that sometimes in life, things happen that are beyond our control, that are outside of our agency, that impact us, whether that's positively or negatively. So when something like that happens, it could give us a benefit, like the hydrangea, but it could also be detrimental to people around us, like the hosta. And so that's a lesson for me, is to think about when changes happen, to always be mindful of their impact on yourself, but also those around you. And my third and final lesson, I think, Julia, we can put up the one with the shovel and the dirt there. That's probably the best one there. Yes, okay. So, has anyone ever done the work of edging a garden bed like this with a shovel and a spade? Yes, okay. Everyone knows. Everyone has this knowing, like, oh, okay. So, I don't use any, and Charlotte taught me, like, we don't use any plastic borders or rocks or anything like that, because over time they get overgrown. They look pretty for a week, but then they get kind of nasty and gross. So the precision of a clean edge with a sharp edge cutting tool, the ritual of creating that and sort of the consistency of that look is something that I always aspire to. He could do it beautifully, and I'm learning to do it beautifully. The challenge, though, is when I did this is a few weeks ago, I really just wanted to clean the edge, but I didn't like the way the edge was looking. So you take a little more off. You take a little more off. And then I was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna have a new garden bed here. And so I actually went and got a can of spray paint, like the marking tape, because I couldn't get the curve right. And if someone does this work, you want the flow to sort of be logical and natural. And I realized I would have to go really far out to create the edge that I wanted. So all of a sudden, this project that I had intended to just be a quick edge has now turned into a multi-year project. But I'm excited about this because, like in life, a garden is never finished, and there's always work to be done. And I think of the things that, Charlot died in 2023, and I think of how the garden has changed since he died. Putting in new beds in the back, the tree changing, and the hydrangea, and what's happening here. And so today there's not going to be any pretty mulch down. It's going to be a little bit messy when people come over. But I think that's okay, because there's always work to be done. And so what I want to leave you with, I'm going to go back to New York just for a second, because I had a chance to wander through MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art, and I came across an installation. I don't have a photo of it, but if you're interested, I can share the link to the artist. I was drawn in because the description was a Canadian artist, so I was like, ooh, CanCon, I have to go check that out. It's a Canadian artist, Korean of descent, Lotus L. Kang, and it's a large-scale installation that uses photographic paper. So like, think of like 35 millimeter film, but like at a 10,000 scale, that's hanging on loops of fabric. So it's just kind of hanging, and it reacts to its environment. So the humidity, the light, and it changes the conditions based on where it's installed. So it's been installed in a few locations, and every time it moves, it changes. And I think that's a beautiful metaphor. I think there are lots of parallels between that photographic paper and my garden, and I think also the existence of humanity in our way in the world. And I'll just read from the description of the artist. That the light-sensitive surfaces continuously record their environments, serving as a metaphor for the self. We are porous beings. We are always in a state of becoming. And so I think of my garden in that way, and I think of myself in that way, as always being in a state of becoming. And so I hope that was insightful. I want to thank you for joining me as we wandered through the garden, and I look forward to seeing many of you, some of you in the garden. If you would like to swing by and you want to know where it is, come see me after the service, and I'm happy to give you the address. But thank you for playing with me in the garden.
Will the ushers please start passing the offering baskets now? Thank you. This congregation has a long history of care, vitality, and bringing people together to move the arc of justice forward. We have been able to live into our hopes and dreams because of the oh, this is awful. To live into our hopes and dreams because of the generosity of those within and beyond this community. Whether you are here in Worship Hall or anywhere else, you are part of this community. We rely on one another to keep this congregation vital and resilient. If you have any questions about how you can give, please go to our website or contact our finance manager to find out how to make a donation or keep up with your pledge. Also, those here in Worship Hall can use the QR code on the back of the order of service to make an online donation. Our gifts are freely given and gratefully received. We dedicate these gifts to the work of this community of faith, serving human wholeness, caring for the planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, loving one another. Now let us sing together. Please rise in body or spirit as Jen introduces, I think, and then leads us in singing From You I Receive. It's number 402 in the gray hymnal. The words will also be on the screen. 1068. Okay, thank you. In the teal hymnal.
And I'm not going to introduce it. We're just going to sing it.
Okay, good.
It needs no introduction.
My blood doth rise in the roots of yon oak, her side God bless my soul like the open sky, where the stars forever have lain. Where the stars, where the stars, where the stars forever have lain. My hands hold the weavings of time without end, as wide as deep as the sea. Beating my heart sounds the measures of old, that of love's eternity. That of love, that of love, that of love's eternity. My foot carries days of the old into new. Our dreaming shows us the way. Wondrous our faith settles deep in the earth, rising green to bring a new day. Rising green, rising green, rising green to bring a new day.
Before we begin to close our time of worship and reflection, a reminder that food and household items from our grocery support program are available to those who would like some from the room adjacent to Fellowship Hall. If you're new here, still feel new, or simply welcome conversation today, please pick up a green mug as you enter Fellowship Hall. Doing so will help others look forward to a good conversation with you. And if you see someone sporting a green mug, even if they're drinking decaf, approach them. Ask them about who they are and what drew them here this morning to the start of a great conversation. Preview of next Sunday's worship will be led by Lisa Boulay, and we'll be welcoming Martin Krajic from the Ottawa Senior Pride Network, who will share a reflection. Now, as we prepare to extinguish our chalice, and as members of the house band assemble on stage, let these words from the poem Planting the Meadow by Mary Makovsky guide us forward. I leave the formal garden of schedules where hours edge me, clip the errant sprigs of thought, and day after day, a boxwood topiary hunt chases a green fox, never caught. No voice calls me to order as I enter a dream of meadow, kneel to earth and move east to west, second the motion only of the sun. I plant frail seedlings in the unplowed field, trusting the wilderness hidden in their hearts. Spring light sprawls across false indigo and hyssop, daisies and flax. Clouds form, dissolve, withhold, or promise rain. In time, outside of time, the unkempt afternoon fills up with flowers. Please rise and body your spirit as we come together one more time in song, as we sing Spirit of Life, which you'll find is number 123 in our teal hymnal. We'll sing it through first in English and then en français. The great hymnal.
Sing in my heart, all the
bongos and a kazoo. I love it. And that's a wrap on this Sunday. May we always remember that we are people of love, providing a place in the world for our spirit, a place called home. And as now as we return to the challenge and joy of helping the world come alive in love, let us go forward with love in our hearts, sowing seeds of justice from our hands and peace in our steps. Go in peace, my friends. Go in peace. Merci. Seriously, when I get it delivered, it's like 10 cubic yards, and the kids see the truck and they're like, they like stab it, like they're like, shit, Dad's got it. Oh, I'm glad, Jen. Thank you.